From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, June 5th, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.41 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,244 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $576. Antiwar.com reports after the U.S. trained and armed Iraqi military collapsed in the face of the Islamic State offensives in 2014, the U.S. embarked on a broad effort to retrain and reorganize the military. 17 months into this effort, U.S. officials are increasingly admitting the effort is another failure. Retired Lieutenant General Mick Bednarik, who commanded the U.S. training mission until last year, said the Iraqi Army has not improved much, saying the big problem is a lack of recruitment and retention to the Iraqi forces, adding the U.S. officers are ready to train who shows up, but are never sure who that's going to be. Other U.S. officials complained that the Iraqi military's commanders are too cozy with the Shiite militias they so heavily depend on in the war, and that many of the U.S. arms being transferred to the Iraqi military, either because of corrupt commanders or outright robbery, end up in the hands of these militias. Iraqi Defense Ministry officials defended this, saying the militias are an official body connected to the armed forces, though indeed the fact that the Iraqis are still so heavily dependent on the militias for serious combat underscores just how weak the proper military remains. The militias have been heavily criticized by human rights groups, with many cases of liberated Sunni towns being left under the control of Shiite militias who engage in looting and violent retaliation against suspected the Islamic State supporters. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports Secretary of State John Kerry publicly condemned the editing of a State Department press briefing video discussing the Iran nuclear deal as stupid, clumsy, and inappropriate. Speaking with reporters while in Paris on Saturday, Kerry said he wants to find out exactly what happened and why, saying he does not want the person who called for the edit to continue working at the State Department. Meanwhile, congressional Republicans have reportedly demanded the release of documents corresponding to the briefing and called for an investigation, according to the Wall Street Journal. Kerry also called for an investigation into the matter. Last week, the State Department said a video editor was asked to edit out about 9 minutes of a 2013 press briefing with then State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki discussing negotiations with Iran. The clip reportedly had a Fox News reporter asking Psaki whether Obama's administration had been untruthful about secret talks between the United States and Iran. In reply to the inquiry, Psaki said sometimes diplomacy needs privacy. Although the clip was edited, the full transcript of the exchange remained intact. State Department spokesman John Kirby said the request for edit was made by an unknown U.S. official. The technician who followed through with the task could not recall who it was. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports torrential rains in Texas, which caused flooding that killed 16 people this week, has spread to southern Louisiana, leaving parts of that state and Mississippi under a flash flood watch through Sunday, according to the National Weather Service. Heavy rains could strike the Florida Panhandle early next week, but not as intensely as in Texas, according to Daniel Peterson, a meteorologist at the Weather Prediction Center in Maryland. Small streams in southern Louisiana have overflowed their banks, causing localized flooding. At least 16 people have died in Texas in the past week as some rivers swelled to levels not seen in more than 100 years, forcing thousands of people to evacuate their homes in low-lying areas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has declared a state of disaster in more than 30 counties. Forecasters said that on Sunday the threat of flash floods in Texas would decrease as rains become less intense. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.